Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Beau again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump, Thune, motives, and signals. So, we've got a little news about the shutdown and a question about Republican Senate Majority Leader Thune's motives. So, here's the question. Quote, Thune's term ends in 2028. South Dakota overwhelmingly voted for Trump. I drive all around the South Dakota countryside twice a year for work, and I've watched as Trump flags go up and down. Since I started doing this many years ago, but after Trump was first elected, there were always dozens of Trump flags up. This spring there were 2. Now there are none. Thune's term ends in 2028, so in theory, there's nothing Trump can do to him. Unless either Thune hates humanity and healthcare that much, or he thinks Trump is going to be president in 2029, or both. What do you think of this analysis? Well, I think that most of us forget, at least occasionally, that the Trumpian takeover of the Republican Party alienated many in the traditional Republican base. Trump's current term is hurting a lot of once loyal Republican demographics. Thune is a politician. He wants what all Senate majority leaders want, another term. Wholesale abandonment of Trump's rhetoric right away would lead to the Republican Party collapsing in on itself as the Trump base flees. Besides, Trump doesn't officially become a lame duck for another year. I'm not particularly worried about a third Trump term. Now, on to other Thune news. Thune signaled that Republicans would be willing to roll back some of the actions they've taken during the shutdown. Which ones? Who knows? It could be a list. Attempting to fire thousands upon thousands of people, freezing grants, and generally doing everything they can to hurt Americans in hopes of getting the Democrats to cave and give up on health care for the working class. When talking about it, he said, quote, the White House, at least my understanding is, has signaled that as well. The willingness of the White House to roll back some of those moves, to me, says a whole lot. Trump and the administration has tried to cast these moves as necessary and somehow good for America. Then why undo them? If they believe they're important policy moves, that they help America, why roll them back? The only option I can think of is that they know the moves aren't good for America. They know they aren't good policy moves. But they are, as many have suggested, simply using the American worker and the U.S. economy as bargaining chips. Look what you made me do to them. I'll stop if you give up on tax credits for health care. I don't want to say it's an admission that all of the pain being caused is simply to get leverage over Democrats, because they didn't admit it. But I honestly don't know another way to read this. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.